welcome to this mini masterclass. In today's mini masterclass, we're looking at if you want to stop rocking your child to sleep, what the heck do you do? How do you go about it? Let's look and see if we can make this as easy as possible for your family. My name is Rebecca Mickey and I am a children's sleep consultant and author. And I work with families who have children of all ages with all different sleep issues. One question that I often get is, how can I stop rocking my child to sleep? Because if you just try not to do it, your child is not going to be falling asleep and they're probably going to be pretty furious about it. Well, don't worry, I have a plan. Let's see if we can get your child falling asleep without you needing to rock them. Now, right now, you're rocking your child to sleep, and there is nothing wrong with rocking your child to sleep. If you are happy with how this is going, keep going. There is nothing to change. I am not saying that you should not rock your child to sleep. I am a firm believer, and it is only a problem when it's a problem. If rocking your child to sleep is not a problem, it's all good. But if you would like to stop rocking your child to sleep, this is what you want to do. Now, you can imagine if your child is used to falling asleep one way whilst being held and rocked, and then we suddenly don't do that, they're not going to be able to fall asleep. We all have our own ways of falling asleep. We all have our own habits of doing things. And that could be that you will lay in bed and you will read for a little bit and then you'll turn the light off and then you'll lay on your left side and then you'll roll to your right side and that's how you fall asleep. We all have our little ways of doing things, especially when it comes to falling asleep. And when we can't do that or something changes, it's really, really difficult. So right now your child is held and they have that movement. And you either don't do the movement or you laid them down in a bed in their crib, they're not going to be able to fall asleep because it is so different. They're not being held and there is no movement. And that big difference makes it impossible for them to fall asleep. Even if you've been really consistent with your nighttime routine, getting them ready for sleep, that last bit, falling asleep, is really different. So let's have a timeline for moving away from that. Now, this can be as simple as reducing down the duration of you rocking and the amount of movement that you're doing. So you know how much movement you need to give and how long more or less that takes for your child to fall asleep. So let's just say you're doing a good paced rock for 10 minutes. Then your child falls asleep. You may rock them for another 3 minutes, hold them for another minute or two, and then you're able to lay them down quite successfully. Let's see if we can move away from this by reducing down the duration and the amount of movement. So you know how long it more or less takes you to help your child to sleep with that rocking. Now we want to reduce down the amount of minutes that you're going to be rocking for, but you don't want to go too fast. Suddenly getting to no movement, your child is not going to be able to fall asleep. But if we reduce it down a little bit by even 30 seconds, then this is the best place to get started. So what you will do is you'll just go through your routine, you'll rock your child as you have been, but you're going to slow up that movement as you near the end of your duration, and then you are going to stop the movement a little bit sooner. So if you are rocking for 10 minutes, you may slow up the movement, begin to slow the movement that you're doing after about 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes, and then you're going to have stopped the movement at 9.5 minutes. You're still going to hold your child as you have been, and then you're going to be laying them down. And in fact, that additional 30 seconds where you are not rocking, where you would have been, just hold them for that additional 30 seconds. So you're going to be holding your child for longer before you lay them down. They're going to get into their bed at that same level of asleep, but they didn't need so much movement to get there. It depends on your child's sleep personality as to how quickly you will then work on reducing this down. The more laid back, easygoing your child is, the easier time that they'll have with this. If you're unsure of your child's sleep personality, just scroll down. You'll be able to find the link and you'll be able to take my sleep personality quiz. We'll see the pace that you need to work at. The more laid back, easygoing children, you can probably reduce down this duration every day. More shy, intense sleep personality, every 2-3 days is normally perfect. And what you're going to continue to do is to reduce down the amount of time that you are rocking for, initially adding that reduction onto the time that you're holding. Then you're going to get to a maximum time that you're holding for, and then you'll start laying your child down, and then you will start laying them down sooner and sooner. So if it took 10 minutes of rocking, 3 minutes of rocking after they were asleep, 2 minutes holding, that's 15 minutes, you will be able to start getting them down earlier and earlier, but you may still continue to be holding them for that 5 minutes after they've fallen asleep. Before then, you're going to be laying them down. Work at a really slow, manageable pace. Big steps are hard for us as human beings. Small steps are much easier. So reducing down even 15, 20, 30 seconds, a minute maximum, and that would only be if you were rocking for an incredibly long time. Continue to reduce that down. Your child is now getting used to not needing as much movement because you're reducing down the movement and you are stopping earlier. They are now going to be doing more of that, getting into the deep sleep without needing that movement, which means that they're going to have an easier time getting through sleep cycles without movement when they are in their bed. So you never know, just by working down, reducing down the rocking at the beginning of the night or the beginning of your nap, you may actually increase the duration of sleep that your child gets because they don't need so much movement in order to get back to sleep. And they may have an easier time coming into a light sleep and getting back into a deeper sleep without needing any help at all. In the notes here, you will be able to find some examples of different timelines for beginning to get less involved with that rocking, depending on your child's sleep personality. Good luck. This is not a quick fix, but it works incredibly well, and I have worked with many families, and we have had great success with this. Good luck.